Very good noon, Dr. Manju Sharma Madam, इंदिरा गांधी राष्ट्रीय जनजाति विश्वविद्यालय परिवार की ओर से मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी के ये प्रोजेक्ट की ओर से प्रोजेक्ट स्टाफ, यूथ, स्टूडेंट्स, यूनिवर्सिटी स्टाफ, यूट्यूब, फेसबुक क्लासरूम सभी जो प्रेजेंट हैं, जो आपको सुन रहे हैं, सबके तरफ से मैडम हार्दिक अभिनंदन, वंदन और स्वागत है मैडम। और सबसे बड़ी बात मैडम, आपने हमारे सहज निवेदन पे हमारा आमंत्रण स्वीकार किया, इसके लिए आपको कोटिशः कोटिशः आभार और साभार मैडम। It is matter of great pleasure that we have us with Dr. Manju Sharma Madam, Indian biotechnologist and former secretary to Government of India, Department of Biotechnology, Chairman, New Initiative, NASI, Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, and Dr. Manju Sharma trained as a plant scientist. She took a first-class MSc from Lucknow University in 1961 with first rank and received the Birla Sahni Memorial Gold Medal. Her well-known work on the detailed ontogeny, development and distribution of sclerites in organ other than leaves like stem and floral parts brought out from the first time the taxonomic and phylogenetic significance of sclerites. Her postdoctoral research at Purdue University, USA on latex-bearing plants with Professor A.C. Leopold led to the understanding the ethereal can stimulate the yield of latex and rubber by 100%. This found direct commercial application in rubber plantation in Malaysia. She was offered the position of visiting scientist at the Institute of Plant Anatomy and Cytology at University of Copenhagen. She did extensive work on plant ideoblast and resulting in very good publications. Her extensive studies at the Forest Research Institute on silica contents in a large number of woody species established a correlation between silicon content and hardness of wood, a chapter used as an indicator of quality of wood. She co-authored a monograph entitled Indian Medicinal Plant and Indian Council for Medical Research Publication. She has many research publications to her credit and has prepared number of special paper, policy report, documents on various aspects of science and technology. हम सभी आज बहुत ही प्रिविलेज्ड हैं और गौरव का विषय है कि एक रिनाउंड एजुकेशनिस्ट, एक रिनाउंड साइंटिस्ट और जो अपने इनोवेशन रिसर्च के माध्यम से एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को या एक पर्टिकुलर बायोटेक्नोलॉजी के फील्ड के स्टार्टअप, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप और इंडस्ट्री को एस्टेब्लिश करने में इनोवेशन के माध्यम से जो सहायता किया और राष्ट्र निर्माण में जो भूमिका अदा की, इतनी बड़ी पर्सनालिटी हमारे साथ हैं, हम सबके लिए गौरव का विषय है। और मैडम, हम सभी आपका, सभी लोग बहुत बहुत हार्दिक अभिनंदन, आत्मीय स्वागत आपका करते हैं। इसी के साथ मैं आदरणीय डॉक्टर मंजू शर्मा मैडम, साइंटिस्ट और फॉर्मर सेक्रेटरी टू गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी को ये मंच समर्पित करता हूं कि वो अपने आशीर्वचन और मार्गदर्शन से हमें अनुग्रहित करें। डॉक्टर मंजू शर्मा मैडम।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर सिंह। और सबसे पहले मैं आप सबको नमस्कार करती हूँ और ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि आपने बहुत काइंड वर्ड्स मेरे लिए यूज़ किए हैं, पर मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी का और आपका ये इस इनविटेशन के लिए, क्योंकि मुझे स्टूडेंट्स और टीचर्स और फैकल्टी इनके साथ इंटरैक्ट करना और इनके संग इनके बीच में कुछ बोलना बहुत अच्छा लगता है। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये करने से मैं साइंस को हर स्ट्रेटा ऑफ द सोसाइटी तक ले जा सकती हूँ। ये इसलिए मुझे आपका बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद करना है और आपके वाइस चांसलर को मेरा अभिनंदन, नमस्कार। और अगर आप ठीक समझें तो मैं अपना स्लाइड से लेक्चर शुरू कर सकती हूँ। मैं शेयर करूँगी स्लाइड्स आपके साथ। तो जैसा कि मैंने आपको पहले बताया था कि आई वुड लाइक टू स्पीक ऑन अ सब्जेक्ट व्हिच इज़ ऑफ रेलेवेंस to the students from the urban rural areas and particularly to the women scientists. I have done a lot of work for the women in this country, and I must say that I feel that they are going to play a very important role in the near future as far as the science and technology interventions for the societal benefit are concerned. Therefore, I will speak, I'm addressing to this particular strata of the society, the rural areas, urban areas, the students, and the faculty members from different universities, and also the women scientists. Next one. Also, I am going to talk about some general aspects first, and then I will come to biotechnology. Little bit I will speak about that, and then I'll come to some programs which we have conducted in the academy for the tribal welfare, and lastly, I would conclude with some suggestions for the university and for the consideration of the population. Once again, with my sincere thanks to Indira Gandhi Tribal University and to Dr. Singh and the authorities for giving me this opportunity. Lord Rees-Mogg, he was the former editor of the Times, London, in the UK, and he gave a KK Birla Foundation Day lecture, a very important lecture, which was for the world of the 21st century. And he said something very important. There seem to be four particular developments which, when we look forward into the next century, we expect to influence the history of that century. And let us see what are these four developments. Next one. Information age. The whole economy of the world is being controlled by the electronic communication. Then the transfer of technology, research, innovation, product development, technology development, and its transfer. That's a very important area for the academics. Next, shift from the economic predominance from Europe and North America to the growing economic importance and probably the future economic predominance of the Asian region, mostly India and China. And I'm sure all of you are aware that Honorable Prime Minister has been putting so much emphasis on this subject that the Asian region should also emerge as a very important part of the globe in doing very good science. And then last one is the tremendous ideological change. Next. It is in this process of change in the economic scenario all over the world that will dominate the present century. It will dominate the present century and the world to revolutionize the developments. It would thus bring about a major impact on the total societal status. And what is the scenario on which it will have impact? Education, job opportunities, career options, and it would be motivating force for the younger generation to adapt themselves to the changing needs. So now I'm connecting what Lord Rieger said, those 4 points to the present societal structure or the ecosystem of the country, which is education, job opportunities, and career options. I quickly want to tell you, and I'm sure the students will be very motivated when they hear this, that what did our Nobel laureate Sir C.V. Raman said. It was in 1942, but so relevant for today. The true wealth of a nation consists not in the stored up gold in its coffers and the banks, not in the factories, but in the intellectual and physical strength of its men, women, and children. So I'm sure all of you get this point, what he had said in 1942. And later on, again in 43, in a radio broadcast, Sir C.V. Raman said, the principal requisite for success in scientific research is not the maturity of knowledge associated with age and experience, but the freshness of outlook, which is the natural attribute of youth. So I want to give this message through the two quotes of Sir C.V. Raman, that youth today has become extremely important because they have the natural freshness, they have the attitude to go towards progress and see that the India is among one of the most developed nations of the world. Next one. The 20th century has witnessed very major scientific revolutions covering engineering, physical, chemical, and computer sciences, with spectacular advances in science. Overall, the science has progressed extremely well. And I hope all of you are aware that yesterday we had one of the greatest achievements in the history of space science in the country, the launch of Vikram S, a satellite which has been totally indigenously prepared. And it's a great, great achievement for the country. And I would like to congratulate through you and through this audience, all the scientists of our country. This is a motivating factor, what has happened today. Science and technology, especially biotechnology, is going to be a major vehicle of societal transformation, and it has enormous career opportunities. I will focus by illustrating with some examples, achievements, and potential application of the field of new biology as also biotechnology. The discovery of DNA double helix. This is only for the information of the students. I'll speak for 5 minutes on this subject so that the students understand what the new biology and biotechnology is. The discovery of the DNA double helix structure, gene splicing, sequencing, use of recombinant DNA technology, cloning, stem cell research. These are all the areas where phenomenal breakthroughs have shown the path for career opportunities as well as economic benefits, and certainly maximum impact on the society for a much better living style. We are today at the interface, and I want all of you to understand there is nothing like agriculture separately or medical science separately or biology separately. We are always at the interface of biology with computer science, engineering, and other tools of physical sciences. So there is basically an interface. So science has become an interdisciplinary whole ecosystem which gives rise to application of science, transfer of technology, and development of a whole product regime which will benefit the economic status of the country. Next one. The students would like to know what is the definition of the biotechnology, which is very important because the definition directly correlates to its application. Any technique that uses living organisms or substances from those organisms to make or modify a product to improve plants or animals or to develop microorganisms for specific use. New biotechnology, as defined by the US government, is the industrial use of rDNA, cell fusion, and novel bioprocessing techniques. This was given in 1991, and it still holds good even in today's context. Next. According to World Science Report 1996, the definition which will go a long way may prove the most descriptive related to the world economy, and that is making money with biology. So the students must know that every plant they see, every piece of grassland, every flora, fauna they see, it's going to be a source of economic progress in the country. Next one. Next कहने की जरूरत नहीं, अपने आप करिएगा. I'm sure you will recognize these photographs. This is James Watson and Crick. You know them, children. I'm sure you are familiar with them. They were the ones who discovered the double helix structure of DNA and got the Nobel Prize. And once I had invited both Dr. James Watson to our country. This is when I was secretary, and we were celebrating 50 years of the discovery of the double helix structure. And he, because of his health, could not come, but he sent this message to India and to the Indian scientific community and the students. And let me read the message for you. Dear fellow scientists, I wish you every success as you come together for international dialogue in the 50th year of DNA's double helix, the most important molecule of biology. Through working out and later manipulating the sequence of its A, T, G, and C letters, we will increasingly be able to understand life at the molecular level and use this knowledge to improve the quality of human life. This is James Watson. The landmark discovery of DNA was that on 25th April 1953, referred to also as the modern icon. Next one. The world scientific community has discussed various aspects of the discovery on biology, culture, application from medicine to nanotechnology. And of course, you know that Nobel Prize was given to Professor Watson and Crick and also Maurice Wilkins. What are the areas of application? I come to the very important part of my talk, and that is these are the areas which really open up the avenues for employment generation: biology, agriculture, including animal sciences and aquaculture, plants, healthcare, environment, energy, industry, economic progress, employment generation. All these have produced tremendous excitement in science. So while we do science of relevance, we also appreciate that science has a lot of excitement for the younger generation particularly. Professor Watson, he was my guest when I was the president of the Science Congress, and he came and he addressed a very big gathering of young students at the National Institute of Immunology in New Delhi and said, "You succeed in the world if you are an optimist and not a pessimist." So बच्चों, आप ये बात तो समझ गए हैं ना जो जेम्स वॉटसन ने कही कि आपको ऑप्टिमिस्टिक होना है, पेसिमिस्टिक व्यू, नेगेटिव व्यू नहीं होगा, ये वर्ड नहीं होगा, अपने मन से निकाल देना है. नेक्स्ट वन, कैरियर ऑप्शंस इन बायोटेक्नोलॉजी. I think the faculty members would appreciate that biotechnology is regarded as the greatest intellectual enterprise of the humankind. There are career advances in the new bioscience areas. For example, taxonomy. We have such a large flora and bioresources in this country. India being one of the hotspots of biodiversity, there is no dearth for the need of taxonomists in this country. And that is one of the area I request the universities to take note of and try to train students in this. Next, plants and agriculture, testing of the GMOs and transgenics, diagnostics development in healthcare, industrial biotechnology, environment protection and biodiversity conservation, food processing, production of biologicals and other biotech products, and entrepreneurship development. All these relate to entrepreneurship development. And lastly, teaching and training in biotechnology. This is so important, teaching and training in biotechnology. Next. One area which I'm sure the university is aware, and they must have had some centers of this excellence, bioinformatics. This encompasses all aspects of biological information: acquisition, processing, storage, distribution, analysis, and interpretation. All these combine the tools and techniques of mathematics, computer science, biology, which aim at the understanding of the biological significance of the data which is being generated. Millions and millions of data files are available today in the country and all over the world. We consider biology and bioinformatics as a mega science. In Western world, it is referred to as mega science. And what is mega science? Manipulation and interpretation of the enormous volumes of data generated through research, including genomics, proteomics, structural biology, dynamics of macromolecular assemblies. These are many of the areas where the young students who join biotechnology as for their study, they can move on further when if they join any of these areas, which will give them very good career options. Next. इसको छोड़ दो. Analysis and interpretation of the biological data through computational approaches has become one of the very important aspects of new biosciences, including mathematical modeling and algorithms for high parallel processing of complex biological structures, visualization and graphical interface, simulation of complex biological processes. So this is I'm sure Dr. Singh would know and appreciate that the students who want to come and join biotechnology, they will have to look at all these things, because bioinformatics is the very basis, bread and butter of biotechnology. Next. इसकी छोड़ दो आगे. Biotechnology industry is driven by research and innovation and is expected to have sustained growth and profit. So many people say that it is the single largest sector in the years to come for employment of a skilled human resource. Next. Biochemical engineering, a discipline recently introduced in the academia, it will form the basis of accelerated biotechnology industry. IITs, universities, national institutes, they are all introducing courses dovetailing the principles of engineering and biotechnology. Next one. Instrumentation is another very important area, and similarly nanotechnology, which represents a technological revolution in constructing devices with atomic precision. It includes biotechnology, genomics, neuroscience, etc., many other subjects. Next one. Another area is which is very important, like nanotechnology, is synthetic biology. When we are doing biotechnology, we must know all this. That we just don't say that biotechnology is only plants and animals. No, you have to think of all these new areas, which are extremely important in terms of understanding biotechnology and making use of biotechnology. Next one. This map, if you see, map of India, this shows that bioinformatics infrastructure and the human resource development program of the Department of Biotechnology is spread all over the country, And there is hardly there is any region, any university in the country which does not have either a bioinformatics center or by Department of Biotechnology, which gives teaching and training to the human resource. Next one. Another important subject which I can't miss, if I'm talking of career options, is the basic research. Letterman, who was Nobel laureate, and he was speaking in a symposium on science and human goals in the 21st century. He said, educating children in basic science so that they become better informed and appreciate both the power and limits of science is essential if they are to be sufficiently equipped to survive the next millennium. So, my dear teachers here, the faculty members, it's my request that when you want to you want your student to take science for their future studies and career, please don't neglect basic research. If you teach them in the very beginning fundamentals, make them clear what the understanding of the fundamentals, the future of the student will be very bright. I will not take too much time on this, but I'm sure you should know this, that science and technology policy issues after independence, when India got independence, policy statements for the promotion, development and utilization and progress of science and technology in the country. Several policy statements have been made, but the most important one, which came in 1958, was the Scientific Policy Resolution. And this resolution has worked till today. 1958 it was prepared, but it is important even in the present context because it had the most important focused points which are relevant for science and technology development for the human welfare. Next one. The Scientific Policy Resolution 1958, and especially for women, I want to mention here, it stated to ensure creative talent of men and women is encouraged and finds full scope in scientific activity. To ensure creative talent. So we have to identify from the very beginning a creative talent. The Science and Technology Policy 2003 again emphasizes to promote the empowerment of women in all science and technology activity and ensure their full and equal participation. Next. And all these statements have emphasized from the very beginning several aspects of science which are important for the humankind and for the national progress, and also especially for the welfare of the women. And what I want to say, there are a large number of Government of India schemes. I don't have time to mention all that, but if you open the website of Department of Science and Technology, Biotechnology, particularly, or CSIR, you will find a lot of schemes which are very relevant. And the latest slogan of the government, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. And I'm sure all of you are related with that. So I come now to the tribal related aspects. And these are some of the programs which the National Academy of Sciences, Prayagraj, has conducted, has been implemented with the support of the Government of India, Department of Science and Technology. And the academy is known for its very good work in the field of science education, science communication, health and nutrition, safe water, farm mechanization, technological empowerment of women. All these particularly for the tribal population. There are 23 projects working at different centers in the country for which workshops have been organized, and there are awareness building and sensitization programs on health, nutrition, environment, and science and technology, like in Port Blair, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and Chakrata. I'm giving you two extreme examples. Chakrata in Uttarakhand. Extremely good tribal welfare centers with science and technology interventions. What are the activities which are important for the under the tribal sub-plan for the scheduled tribes? You can see, I don't want to read it, bioeconomy, S&T interventions training to the population, data accumulation, analysis, utilization, and we organized a mega event. I think some scientists from the Amarkantak University also were present in Bhubaneswar, where we showed all this to the students, to the tribal people, to the farmers, so that they understand that really science is doing something very good for them. Next one. And look at the outcome of these programs. I don't want to read it. You can quickly glance through it. Awareness, sensitization, training programs, health, hygiene, enabling the tribal farmers for enhancement of agriculture income through cultivation and processing of aromatic plants, participatory observation to validate the knowledge bank of traditional and tribal healers of Balaghat district, to prepare the ethno-medical register and documentation of ethno-medicinal knowledge and conservation in Chitrakoot district, some districts of Madhya Pradesh, etc. Next one. Training programs enhancing the productivity for the small and marginal farmers in Odisha, some villages, survey of bioresources, sustainable livelihood enhancement through empowering tribal women. And there is a very big program for the tribal women in Koraput in Kerala. Then technological empowerment of women scheduled tribes in Tirupati. Again, they are doing extremely well in value-added products and food processing for promoting a healthy lifestyle. Then there have been many workshops on augmenting the local resources for the primary health care and better livelihood among tribals of Belagavi. This has also been done. Commercial food processing, improving their health and well-being, and in the tribals of Mirzapur, Sohanbhadra, and eastern districts of Uttar Pradesh. So what I wanted to show through this is that these 23 centers which are working with NACI's help in the country have got such good outcome. And there is at least thousands and thousands, maybe more than 20,000 tribal population has benefited from this. Next one. And I show you some pictures. You can see these are the tribal farmers in Northeast. Next one. Here you can see, this is just to show you that these programs are also taken up by women and children. And there are also farmers, male farmers, but mostly the women are getting very excited to come for training, awareness programs, etc. Next one. So I would come to the last part of my talk, that is to conclude. And here I want to give some suggestions for the universities and other academic institutions, that the need of the hour is the science and technology, economic and societal development aspects world over must be integrated. They can't be taken separately. And we need a paradigm shift in the educational system. And I'm sure all of you know that the new education policy has already emphasized many of these aspects, include making research an integral part of education, so that all the universities, they have lectures and teaching part based on research. So there should be good centers of excellence for research in the universities. Need for training science managers, administrators, and those who understand science policy. These are the people who can lead scientific and technological endeavors of the country. So every university should also identify one or two faculty members, one or two senior students, postdocs, as science managers, as leaders who can take and understand the policy issues and explain it to the university community. Our endeavor should be to ensure that the brightest of the young students are equipped with the best and the latest knowledge of science, continuing their innovations in the laboratories and heading towards a career in science. This is important. But as long as they understand basic science, they carry their career, they advance with the innovations in laboratories, and then they are heading for a career, a very bright career in science. To create opportunities for allowing conduct of high quality basic research. I have already said, but along with basic research, what I want to mention here, and this is more for the faculty members of the university and other senior staff, nurturing and mentoring excellence is extremely important. It is your role that you identify the best in your departments and also those who are not the best, but mentor them, nurture them, so that their future becomes bright. Open up opportunities for entrepreneurship development. See, entrepreneurship is not a subject, it's an interdisciplinary approach where all these aspects of science need to be taken care of, including mentoring, nurturing, marketing, and managerial skills. Here again, you have to explain to the young students how important it is to understand the various aspects, financial aspects of marketing and managerial events, making teaching the profession more attractive. And I have been repeatedly saying this to when I go to the universities for addressing some many times in the convocation addresses and other lectures where I've given in the universities, the teaching profession has to be made very attractive, very, very attractive, and the research more remunerative. It is the teachers who will advance the research, and then only the bright students will come and join. So it's really a total ecosystem, and it's a total cycle, innovation cycle, which you complete in the university only, nowhere else in the country, only the university. For doing this, we have been able to establish many financial support systems in Government of India, both in the industry, private and public sectors. PPP is public-private partnership. You understand that? Public-private partnership. Next one. To accelerate the pace of R&D in the country, it has to be a priority. My dear students, I want to tell you that for you, if you are a science student, promotion of research and development must remain as a focused priority. Focused priority. And you have a stupendous task, challenge before you. And if you accept the challenge, there are innumerable opportunities open for you. There's a whole, as Honorable Prime Minister has always emphasized, technology can open up avenues practically in every sector of development, Information technology, biotechnology, new materials, engineering and downstream processing, construction technology, energy conservation, and so on. I'm not giving too many examples here, but these are some of the very important areas which open up sort of a very big scenario for you for taking up your future career prospects. Next. The power of modern science would then usher a new regime of highly motivated, trained professionals. And who can do this? Who can produce these highly motivated, trained professionals? The university system. Nowhere else but the university system. Let's have the pride about our intellectual power, which is in the universities, our professors, teachers, and senior students. They ultimately, along with the resource base, would generate the wealth and prosperity for the country. So intellectual property, the resource base, this can generate wealth for the country. There are both opportunities and challenges. Mentors, again I repeat, are critical, nurturing and mentoring the young talents. This is something which I want all of you to take it as your mantra, that mentoring and nurturing young talents has to be absolutely essential. Next one. Now, just for the welfare and interest of the students, I have selected some 3 very important quotes which I want the students to know. What did Albert Einstein say when he was asked that how do you teach? And he said, no, imagination is more important than knowledge. I don't teach my children. I create conditions for them to learn. I think all of you understand this, what I'm saying. The creation, the atmosphere, the whole ecosystem has to be created. There has to be a totally academic atmosphere. That only will help the children to go forward in their career. That is most important. That's what he said. I create conditions for them to learn. And again, another Nobel laureate, Tagore, what did he say? A teacher can never truly teach unless he is still learning himself. There is not a day when we can't learn anything. There is nobody in the country, a world, which is not a knowledge source. So we have to continue to up, upgrade our knowledge to come and teach. You know, long ago when I was in I was a university student. I was a very prolific reader. I'd go to library and spend hours on a holiday to read. But I could very quickly understand that there were 2 categories of teachers. One who will keep themselves abreast with the latest research developments, what is happening in research, what is happening in science, and that they will come and teach the students. So they will prepare themselves well to come. There were other categories who had the old notes, and the same notes they will bring every year for the students and teach the same thing again and again and again. That has not resulted anywhere. I'm sure all of you understand. There is no problem in this, but what that old things you have to must keep and understand. But you know, science is moving very fast at a speed with which we cannot even imagine. There are spectacular advances all over the world in all the areas of science. So we can't teach our students with our old system of looking at the older books and teaching books, etc. We have to look at the research publications. We have to go to the library and see Nature, Science, PNAS, all these important journals. So that is what is important. A teacher can never truly teach unless he is still learning. And that's what Tagore goes on to say. A lamp can never light another lamp unless it continues to burn its own flame. And then what did our father of nations said? You must be the change you wish to see in the world. If we really want to see a change in the world, first we must bring out the change in ourselves. That focused knowledge, greed for understanding things better, not greed for money and resources, but greed for understanding. That is most important. And that change we have to bring in ourselves, and then only we can move forward. Next. So, my dear students, faculty members, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Dr. Singh, Dean of the faculty. Once again, I want to thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to talk to the students, teachers, scientists, which is one of my most important mission in life. Remaining life what I have, this is my mission, and I want to do that. Best wishes and blessings for a success of your program. Namaskar and Jai.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much to give the very informative and about the various scheme of Department of Science and Technology and Department of Biotechnology, how the government of India scheme and will felicitate our entire things and the cycle of climate ecosystem as per national education policy, education, innovation and research and after that entrepreneurship, all they are connected with each other. And हम इन सब को एक साथ करके and the best place to implement such combination education, innovation and entrepreneurship, the university is the best place for the same. मैडम आपने जो एक साइंटिफिक बहुत अच्छी ढंग से बताया और नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी को भी ध्यान में रखकर जो बताई और रिसर्च किस प्रकार से एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए बेस है, डेफिनेटली रिसर्च एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए बेस है. विदाउट रिसर्च, विदाउट इनोवेशन, देयर इज नो ग्रोथ ऑफ द एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. तो इसके लिए मैडम आपने, चूंकि एक बड़ी पर्सनालिटी है आप और हम लोग काफी समय से आपको जानते हैं मैडम, और भारत का कोई भी ऐसा विश्वविद्यालय का शिक्षक ना होगा जो आपको ना जानता होगा, क्योंकि सभी कहीं ना कहीं से डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी से कनेक्टेड ही रहते हैं. एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच मैडम. आप हम लोग इस आपकी
सर क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ आदरणीय
डालेंगे
विकास सर, मेरी
और यूट्यूब पे
आदरणीय
डालने के
विकास
बाद
सर,
यूट्यूब पे डालने के बाद मैडम इसको हम लिंक को शेयर भी करेंगे चारों तरफ
आदरणीय
कि
विकास सर, मेरा एक प्रश्न है.
जी 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 जी, बोलिए बोलिए सर,
मैं
बोलिए
पटना
प्लीज
से डॉक्टर
बोलिए.
चंदन कुमार बोल रहा हूँ.
जी जी जी
क्योंकि आज मुझे काफी इस व्याख्यान में काफी सारगर्भित विषय वस्तु लगे,
जी
किंतु मुझे कुछ मन में शंकाएं हैं, दुविधाएं हैं. क्योंकि वर्ष 1990 के बाद जो भौगोलिक स्थिति बदली है वैश्वीकरण के बाद, तो कुटीर उद्योग पर इसका प्रतिकूल प्रभाव पड़ा है. इसके बाद जो रोजगार में जितने जो लघु उद्योग हैं उस पर भी मैं देखता हूं कि बेरोजगारी की समस्या व्याप्त है. हाँ, मैं मानता हूं कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो योजना है आत्मनिर्भर भारत, उससे काफी हद तक मैं देखता हूं छात्रों में एक स्किल विकसित भी हुई है. लेकिन हम लोगों को किस प्रकार से शिक्षा नीति का निर्माण होना चाहिए ताकि बच्चों में स्किल के साथ जो है और व्यक्तिगत रूप से भी जो है बच्चे आत्मनिर्भर हो सके. हाँ, मैं मानता हूं कि पढ़ाई जो है काफी आवश्यक है, लेकिन इसका स्वरूप किस प्रकार निर्धारण होना चाहिए ताकि स्थितियां कुछ हद तक बदली जाए. लेकिन एनईपी में काफी हद तक इस बात की व्यवस्था की गई है कि गुणात्मक शिक्षा की, लेकिन इस पर हम लोग लाखों बात करते हैं लेकिन उस पर कोई व्यापक बात नहीं हो पाती है. तो सर, प्रश्न नहीं है, मेरी जिज्ञासा है मैम से कि कृपया बच्चों को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए पाठ्यक्रम में कैसी व्यवस्था होनी चाहिए ताकि बच्चे आत्मनिर्भर हो सके.
आपका बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न है और मैं ये सोचती हूँ, पहली बात तो इसका सबसे पहला जवाब यही है कि जो नई एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है इसमें ये सब कुछ विस्तार रूप से दिखाया गया है, और अगर उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन पूरे देश में रियली सच्चाई से हो सकेगा, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन सुपरफिशियली सिर्फ दिखाने के लिए नहीं कि इतना पैसा आ गया है इसके लिए तो हम इसको पैसा खर्च कर लें, ये इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो गया, रियली ग्रास रूट्स तक और स्टूडेंट्स का. इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि मेंटरिंग बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. मेंटरिंग से मतलब ये है कि बिल्कुल अर्ली स्टेज में हम बच्चों को, जो हमारे सीनियर टीचर्स हैं, जो जो उनको पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, वो शुरू से ही उनको आइडेंटिफाई कर लेंगे. कितनी कैटेगरीज हैं, कुछ बच्चे हैं जो बचपन में ही उनको स्किल डेवलपमेंट की तरफ जाना चाहिए, है ना. कुछ बच्चे हैं जो बहुत ब्रिलियंट हैं, उन्हें फ्यूचर रिसर्च में जाना चाहिए. कुछ हैं जिनकी टेंडेंसी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट की है, उसको उनको एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में जाना चाहिए. पर ये कौन बता सकता है? ये उनके टीचर्स ही बता सकते हैं, उनके गुरु ही बता सकते हैं, है ना. तो उन बच्चों को आइडेंटिफाई करके आप, इसीलिए मैंने कहा मेंटरिंग जरूरी इसलिए है, उनको शुरू में आपने आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया. अच्छा, आप जो है आपको ज़्यादा एजुकेशन में, फर्दर रिसर्च में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, आपका स्किल डेवलपमेंट इसी यंग स्टेज में हो. और इस बात के लिए प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कई एक योजनाएं, जो स्टार्टअप डिपार्टमेंट ही बना हुआ है, जहाँ छोटी छोटी कुटीर उद्योग और सब तरह के उद्योग बनाने के लिए पैसा दिया जाता है गवर्नमेंट से, कुछ उस तरह के उद्योगों को बच्चों को थोड़ी ट्रेनिंग दे के लगाया जा सकता है। मैं आपको बताऊंगी कि जो ट्राइबल एरिया का प्रोग्राम नेशनल एकेडमी ऑफ साइंसेस अंडमान और निकोबार में कर ली है, वहाँ हमने एक्चुअली ये करके और उसके बाद उसका रिजल्ट भी देखा कि छोटे छोटे बच्चों को हम लोगों ने कहा था, उनके कुछ सीनियर जो रिसर्च साइंटिस्ट थे, कि आप एक्वाकल्चर की और फिश प्रोसेसिंग की ट्रेनिंग दीजिए। और थोड़े दिनों बाद उन्होंने हमें इन्फॉर्म किया, करीब 6 महीने बाद, कि उन बच्चों ने ट्रेनिंग लेके और अपना छोटा छोटा सा उद्योग धंधा जैसा शुरू कर लिया है फिश प्रोसेसिंग के ऊपर। और एक्वाकल्चर तो आप जानते ही हैं, इस कोस्टल रीजन के लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है फॉर एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन। तो मैं ये जो बात कह रही हूँ, ये मैं केवल एक लेक्चर देने के हिसाब से नहीं कह रही हूँ, मैंने इन सब चीजों को प्रैक्टिकल में करवाया है, मैंने होते हुए देखा है, और मैं भविष्य में भी उम्मीद करती हूँ कि ये करा जाएगा। इसीलिए मैंने आपसे कहा कि जो यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं वो हमारी सीट ऑफ लर्निंग है, वहीं से टीचर्स गाइड करेंगे कि बच्चा तुम ये पढ़ो, तुम ये पढ़ो, तुम ये पढ़ो, तुम ये पढ़ो। तो ये आई होप आप समझ गए होंगे मैं क्या कहने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ। आपने बच्चों का स्किल डेवलपमेंट और कुटीर उद्योग के बारे में कहने की उसी के बारे में मैंने ये बताया है। थैंक यू।
बहुत बहुत आभार मैम। चूंकि समय की मर्यादा है, मैं कुछ प्रश्न नहीं करूंगा। काफी अच्छा सत्र रहा आदरणीय विकास सर, और मैम को भी धन्यवाद।
मैं मैडम के बातों में ही मैडम से मार्गदर्शन के लिए एक बात रखूंगा। मैडम, हम लोग जो नई शिक्षा नीति को लेकर के जो इस ट्राइबल डोमिनेटेड एरिया में कर रहे हैं, जैसे ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स को हम लोग कुछ काम उनको भी देते हैं, पार्टिसिपेटिव लर्निंग कराते हैं कि आपके यहाँ पे स्थानीय संसाधन क्या क्या है, आज इसका डिटेल लाओ। एक साथ सब चीज नहीं बताते हैं, तो एक हफ्ते का टाइम दे दिए कि आप स्थानीय संसाधन पे लाओ। फिर ये पूछते हैं कि आपके यहाँ पे पारंपरिक व्यवसाय कुछ था क्या, हो सकता है सब क्या ना हो, लेकिन कुछ के यहाँ है। और ऐसा हम देख रहे हैं कि पहले जो गांव का स्ट्रक्चर था, ग्राम स्वराज जिसको कहते थे, एक गांव में लोहे के भी काम करने वाले हैं, लकड़ी के काम करने वाले भी हैं, आपके सेविंग करने, लेकिन वो पारंपरिक व्यवसाय हमारा छूटते जा रहा है, वो सब भी अब नौकरी के पीछे ही जा रहे हैं। तो वो पारंपरिक व्यवसाय के कौन कौन कर सकता है। फिर ये पूछते हैं कि क्या इसमें टेक्नोलॉजिकल हम इंटरवेंशन करके, जैसे लकड़ी का काम है तो अभी हाथ से कुम्हार घुमाते थे, क्या उसमें इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन करके उसको और अच्छा शेप देने के लिए कुछ मैकेनाइज टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटरवेंशन कर दें क्या, वुडन आर्ट के काम में कुछ टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटरवेंशन कर दें क्या, क्या हो सकता है सोचिए। तो ऐसा करके धीरे धीरे बातचीत करते, उनसे कुछ बताए हमने आइडिया, और उनसे कराते कराते उनको उस इनोवेशन, उनसे इन्वेंशन, इनोवेशन और प्रोडक्ट की ओर ले जाते हैं, और एक प्रूफ ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट बनवाते हैं, जो एक बेसिक थीम था जड़ से जगत तक नई शिक्षा नीति का। तो उसमें हम ऐसा जड़ से जगत तक के लिए प्रयास करते हैं चंदन सर, और हम कैसा कैसा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करते हैं उसको भी शेयर करूंगा मैं। और मैडम, मेरा आज आप ऑनलाइन हैं, आप आगे भी ऑनलाइन आएंगे, लेकिन एक बार ये भी निवेदन है, मैं सार्वजनिक मंच से ही कर रहा हूँ, कि आप ये नर्मदा मैया माँ की धरती पर अमरकंटक आए, उद्गम स्थल, और इस जंगल में हम लोग कैसा मंगल कर रहे हैं एक बार आप देखें। और आप देखेंगी तो हम लोग को बहुत ज्यादा मार्गदर्शन दे सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपके पास बहुत लंबा वैज्ञानिक के रूप में, साइंटिस्ट के रूप में, एक प्रशासनिक अधिकारी के रूप में, भारत सरकार के सचिव के रूप में आप नहीं हैं। तो उसका जो हम लोग को मार्गदर्शन मिलेगा आपके अनुभव से, वो बहुत ही लाभकारी होगा। और वो तो भारत के सभी विश्वविद्यालय काफी किस्मत होंगे जहां आप जाएंगी, और ऐसा मार्गदर्शन और आशीर्वाद आपसे मिलता रहे। नर्मदा मैया की धरती है, आप भी हम सब शिक्षक के लिए एक माँ के समान ही हैं। तो एक बार आप मैडम अमरकंटक जरूर आए, मैं सार्वजनिक मंच से आपको निवेदन करता हूं, और मैं सभी की तरफ से, विश्वविद्यालय परिवार, कुलपति, कुल सचिव, सबके तरफ से आपका हार्दिक आभार वंदन करता हूं।